yoga video first by talking about what is yoga. Yoga means to yoke our mind, our body, our breath to each other, but even to all living things. And two of the first yoga sutras are yoga is now, meaning that we should just be present. Now is the only time that we have. And the second sutra is to reduce the clutter, the chatter that goes on in our minds, and to kind of calm that down so that we can become more present and be where we are. So let's go ahead and start our yoga today, and we're going to talk about being present and trying to let go of all the other thoughts and worries that are going on in our minds. So we'll start in child pose. For child pose, you want to bring the toes together, have the knees apart, and then sit way into the heels, and then start to lengthen the body forward, reaching through the palms and fingers, and maybe getting the chest or the forehead all the way down, finding the length in the vertebra, the opening in the hips. And we'll start with a few cleansing breaths. So you'll breathe in the nose and fill the belly like a balloon, and audibly exhale. Continue that a few more times, just letting go of old stale air that's in our bodies, but also slowly releasing any tension in our joints and sinking deeply into the space and becoming more present. And then going into the Ujjayi breath, where you'll be breathing in the nose, slow, filling the belly, and then slowly, with a slight constraint in the back of the throat, you'll breathe out of the nose, slow as well. You're going to try to continue with this type of breath throughout the practice, reminding ourselves to just be aware of each moment, each sensation, without connecting to them, without any judgment, and with kindness. Trying to have no expectations today and just be in the moment and experience. Continuing with the Ujjayi breath, you're going to gently lift the chest and head off the ground and gently move your arms to the left side. And then you're going to gently press the left rib towards the left inner thigh, and maybe take the right hand and reach it over the left, and just really stretch the right side and left side of the body, breathing into that open, stretched space. And then you walk over the hands to the other side. The same thing, you're going to press that left hip down, reach the left hand forward. Another deep breath there. And then coming back to the center. And then start to slowly walk the hands all the way back in and bring the knees back together. So here we could either stay like this, where you're going to be stretching the tops of the feet and the ankles. If this is not comfortable, then go ahead and come onto your toes. And if that's not comfortable as well, then you can just find a different pose to start off in. So we'll start off here on our knees, and then you're going to inhale, lengthen all the way up, reach. Exhale, press it all the way back and press the chest and head forward. And inhale, lengthen, starting to warm the hip joints, the knee joints, and shoulder joints. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bring the hands back behind you. And I'll keep moving slightly from front to side so that you can see the alignment. The hands will go back behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Press the chest forward, let the head go. If you're going further, you're going to press the palms down and then press the chest up, hips up, stretching into the quads, into the chest and belly, in your neck and your upper back as you reach up. And exhale, release. Bring your hands next to the thighs. You're going to do a little extra ab work. So press the elbows into the sides, press the belly in and up, and then maybe lift one leg or both, or really squeeze the thighs into the chest, holding your body up, pressing the palms into the mat, and then turn your feet into the toes and coming into a little ball squat. Here you'll keep your fingertips down, lift the thighs up high, round the upper back and bring the forehead to the knees, like a little ball. And this is stretching into the upper back, lower back, your neck. One more deep breath like that. And then come back to all fours. So here when we're on all fours, you're going to press with the fingertips, your knuckles, press the pads of your thumbs down, and then the wrist and shoulders are lined up, and the eye of the elbow is facing forward. Your biceps are facing forward. The knees are right underneath the hips, pressing the shins down. And then from here, float the body up so that you're not sinking down and bothering the shoulders and neck again. Going into cat and cow, you're going to start to tilt the pelvis up, let the belly fall. Inhale, press the chest forward, let the head flip up. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, dome the back, let the head hang, and shake it out. And then you may continue to move like this with your own breath, feeling the breath moving through the spine, and maybe even playing around with the hands a little bit, pressing them back as you round up. And inhale, maybe pressing them out to the side. And maybe a couple more. Just coming back to your neutral spine. We're going to lengthen the right arm straight forward and press that left leg back. And then lift that left leg and reach from your fingertips to your toes as if you're trying to lengthen the vertebra by pulling the body straight and tight and long. And then bring the right hand back down. You're going to go into some little push-ups. We're using the triceps. So you're going to squeeze the elbows in. You might squeeze them back. And maybe you come down an inch. If you're able to go a little further, maybe bring the forehead down towards the fingertips. And then press it up. Exhale, bring the knee all the way into the forehead. Round it up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend the elbows back, forehead down. Press up. Exhale, bring it in. And one more. Inhale, lengthen. Bring it down, press it up, and hold it there, and then release that left foot. Press the left heel back a lot to stretch the back of the leg, and then going right into a side plank. So you might stay on the knee for a side plank, and if you're able to go further, you can also release that right leg underneath left, and then squeeze the shoulder blades back. Squeeze the right hip, right glute, right leg. Deep breath. Maybe play around with the feet if you feel it. That's kind of fun. And then come on back down and bring it back in. And then you might even stretch out through the backs of the palms to get a little stretch in the wrist here. And then we'll go to the other side. So this time, the right leg, then left arm, and then lift that right leg and reach it from fingertips to toes. Squeeze this right shoulder in towards the center, and then release that left arm. Going into those little push-ups, bend the elbows back, bring the forehead down, and then exhale, lift, press it in. Inhale, lengthen, come on down, and press. Exhale, press it in. One more inhale, lengthen, exhale, and press. Hold it there for a moment and release. Press that right heel back, stretch the back of that leg, and then back to side plank on the other side. Or you might, again, lengthen into a side plank. Shoulders and wrist are lined up. Hips are squeezing, toes are coming towards the face. Press the shoulder blades down the back, lift it high. Play around if that feels good or sounds fun. And come on down, back to all fours. And again, stretch it out. And then playing around a little bit more, turning the toes under. Lift the knees off the mat and hold it here, a little bear squat. And you can press it down for 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Maybe take the right knee and tap it to the right tricep. And release. Left knee to left tricep. And release. And come on down. Awesome. Going into a little tutorial on chaturangas, upward dogs, and cobras. We'll start with the knees. So we're going to have our hips come down a little lower, shoulders on top of the wrist. And then as you exhale, squeeze the elbows in towards each other, bend the elbows back, unshrug the shoulders, and maybe come down an inch. And press it back up. Otherwise, try and come all the way down with the forehead first, then the chest, and then finally the hips will come all the way down. And then from here, going into your Cobra, squeeze the elbows in, press all 10 toenails, even the pinky toenail down. Lift the kneecaps, you're working the legs, you're working the glutes, and then squeeze the elbows and lift your chest up. As if you're pressing your mat away from you, shoulders away from the ears, and release. Going into the upward dog. Have the wrist come down to the low rib. Squeeze the elbows in, back to 10 toes, pressing and lift all the way up. Squeeze the shoulder blades back again, press your chest, shine your chest forward, 10 toenails pressing down, and come back to all fours. Awesome. We'll do it one more time, and you can go back to what we just did, or you can try to do chaturanga from a plank pose. Let's all go ahead and start with plank. In plank, your shoulders are above the wrist. You're going to squeeze the heels back, squeeze the legs up and high. The hips are same level as your shoulders, and then squeeze your glutes under and really hold it tight. And then you're going to come forward onto your toes and then start to float down, elbows on top of the wrist, about halfway, and then come right back up to upward dog. Inhale and exhale. Sit all the way back down into child pose, and take a moment to reevaluate your breath. How does it feel, the rhythm? And also maybe deciding that I'm going to stay on my knees, or I might skip the chaturangas and just do downward dogs. So let's do our first downward dog. Press into the palms, turn the toes under, and let's just start here first with the knees. Press the chest and belly towards the thighs, press your hands away from you. Squeeze the biceps inwards, and then lift the hips up and back as high as you can. From here, you might just press one heel down and the other, just starting to stretch out the backs of the legs, walking the dog, and then inhaling, press both up, and then press the heels down. Remember, our heels may not come down, doesn't matter, keep them up. You can also bend the knees to have the spine a little straighter, and you'll decide what works best for you. Squeeze the armpits in towards the heart. Take a deep breath, and then lift the right leg straight up. Bend that right knee and lift the knee to the sky, over to that left shoulder. Press the right shoulder down, left heel down into scorpion. Bring the right knee back to center. Gaze forward and tap the right knee to that right tricep. If this is a lot, just drop the left knee for a moment. And 3, and 2, and 1. Come all the way back up. Inhale, and release the right leg. The left leg will lift high. Bend that left knee and lift it up to the right side, opening up that left hip. Squeeze the right heel down, left shoulder down. As you come back to center, come all the way forward. Shoulders on top of the wrist. Tap the knee. Drop the knee if you need to. And 3, and 2, and 1. All the way back up. Inhale. Release that left leg. Take a moment here in your downward dog. Unshrug the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades down the back. Inner thighs pressing back. Gaze forward to bend the knees. You can step it. You can take a big step and bring your feet in. And then rest your belly and your ribs onto your thighs and let your head go. Wrap your hands opposite elbow, opposite hand. And then going into ragdoll. So in ragdoll, you're going to start to lean forward towards the toes and then press the heels deeper into the ground. And then lean forward again and see if you can get your forehead lower and your hips a little higher. But keep your belly on your thighs. You should be stretching your low back, upper back, the neck, your hamstrings. Deep breath here. Release the hips a little lower and reach the arms forward, noticing your collarbones are open, spine is straight. Hold it low and maybe pulse for 3, 2, 1. And then straighten out the spine just a little bit more, going into Utkatasana or chair. Deep breath. Sit a little lower to exhale and inhale, lengthen up and release it. Take a moment, kind of shake it out a bit. And going into our mountain pose or Tadasana, really just great posture. The toes will be slightly turned inwards. You're going to lift the toes up high and wiggle them around a bit. And then relax the toes. Now pressing into them, pressing into the other four corners of your feet. And then if you're kind of, imagine our hip bones being little headlights, we're going to turn the headlights slightly upwards and draw the tailbone slightly down. So we have a nice straight spine, rolling shoulders back, reaching to the ground. And just take a moment, maybe close your eyes and just feel yourself centered and balanced. Going into our first sun salute, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, lengthen straight up. Exhale to cactus the arms, press the elbows back, squeeze your glutes to press your hips forward and lift the heart and chest. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale to forward bend. Bend the knees so much that you can touch the ground. And then inhale, slide the hands up the shins, press the shoulders back, press the chest forward, spine is straight. And then back to chaturanga, hands come down. Go into your high plank, maybe you start onto your knees instead. Coming forward to chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, press the hips up and back to downward dog. Belly presses in towards the tailbone. Unshrug the shoulders. Gaze forward to bend the knees and bring your feet in. Inhale, lengthen halfway, press the hands to the shins, straight spine. Exhale, forward bend. And then press your feet down in order to come back up. Inhale. And exhale, hands back to heart. And we'll go one more time all the way through, starting with a chair pose this time. Utkatasana, chair. Hands can stay forward if it feels better. Just press them back and in, or arms up high. And then exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to chaturanga. You could even jump it back if that feels good. Otherwise, finish the flow. Either way, press up for urdhva. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, or downward dog. Lengthen the neck. Press the hips up and back. Gaze forward to bend the knees and bring your feet in. Inhale, slide the hands up, straight spine. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward bend. And pressing down, inhale all the way up, Utthita Hastasana. And exhale, hands back to heart. Take a moment here. And then we're going to go into a balancing series. Starting here in Tadasana as usual. Bring your hands all the way up. Interlace the fingers and go into temple. You're going to press the biceps towards the cheeks. Lengthen the arms and the vertebra. Inhale. And then shift your weight to the right leg and start to reach the arms over to the right side. Arms are as straight as you can keep them. And then press the right armpit upwards and keep reaching. Keep reaching. Left hip is pressing to the left. Maybe shift your weight to the left and lift the right leg off the ground. And keep the toe down or lift it up. And then inhale back to center. Going to the other side. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Press the biceps towards the cheeks. Shift your weight to the left leg. Shift your arms to the left. Let the right hip come out. Armpit presses forward. Deep breath. If you're trying to lift that leg, go ahead and try. Deep breath. And then inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bring your hands back to heart. Relax the shoulders. And then going into a lunge and then into tree pose. So we'll have our legs parallel. Take the right leg straight back. Bend the right knee so that the spine is straight. And we're going to pulse for 1 and 2 and 3. Lift it up. Inhale. Let's do that again. 1. Press into the left heel. 2. Press into the right toes. And lift. Bring your hands back to heart. Drop the shoulders, going into tree pose. Turn the knee outwards. If you feel like the hips are moving also, then maybe you just have a small movement. Otherwise, you can come all the way out. And then decide if you're going to have the foot stay on the ground, which is totally fine. Ankle, calf. Just don't press into the knee or up into the groin. Okay? Press your hands together and then really press the palms together. And the same way, press the foot into the leg. Hold it here. Use your focus. Deep breath. Good. Root down with that left leg and let the energy flow up into the belly and all the way out into the fingertips as you lengthen. Deep breath. Keeping everything centered. One more. Bring the hands back to heart slowly. Soften the standing leg and bring the right ankle on top of that left thigh. And notice again, the hips are even. We're not going to move the hips one way or the other. And then gently sit back into a sitting chair or sitting pigeon, figure four, various names for this one. And then maybe you want a little extra. You can take that right elbow and twist the body towards the right foot. And hold it there for 3, and 2, and 1. As you inhale, come back up. The right knee comes back up, hold, and maybe press it out, hold, and release. Awesome. Then shake that left leg out, the standing leg, probably working on those calves, the ankles, and we'll go right to the other side. So here we go. We're going to start back in that lunge. So this time, the left leg comes back, bend the left knee, watch the right, and pulse for 1, 2, 3, and lift. Inhale. Let's do that again. For 1, and 2, and 3. Lift it up. Hold it there. I'm going to turn that leg outward. So externally rotate the leg out. Watch the hips, they stay forward. Decide where the foot was going to be. And bring your hands to heart. Squeeze the hands. Squeeze the body together. Imagine that the knee is trying to touch the hip into the center. Deep breath. Soften the toes that are standing. And then maybe releasing the energy from the ground all the way up into the fingertips. Lengthen the spine, tuck the belly in. Find your focal point, your drishti, and just breathe. Stay present and focused, and bring your hands back. As you soften the standing knee, you'll take the left ankle onto the right thigh, and then hinge back. Sit low into that chair, the figure four. Notice the toes are going towards the shins, and then you might decide to bring that elbow over to the other side and hold it here. Twisting is great for digestion. A little extra balance and focus here. As you come back up, you're going to lift that left knee. And then try and see if you can press that left heel forward. Breathe. Got it. And come on down. Shake it all out. Beautiful. So we'll go into our next little vinyasa flow. Well, let's just go ahead and start with our fingers on our shoulders. And just rotate the shoulders a few times. 3 and 2. And then going back for 3 and 2 and 1. And just shrug them all the way into the ears. Inhale and let it go. Awesome. So here we go. Going into Utkatasana or chair. Hinging back. Inhale, lengthen the arms straight up. Sit back. Tuck the tailbone slightly under. Tighten the belly. And then exhale, bring it back and hold it there. Squeeze the triceps. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, press it back. Maybe you come on your toes for this one. Hold it here, sit a little lower. Deep breath, look at the toes. And exhale, fully bend. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, chaturanga, hands down. High plank to low plank, or maybe you skip it and just meet me in downward dog. Inhale. And exhale, press it back. Deep breath. Take the right leg and press it up. Bring the right knee towards the nose. Bring your shoulders over the wrist and land the right foot next to right thumb and release the left knee down and come back up. So we're in a low lunge, Anjanasana. Legs are parallel. Take your hands behind you, press the shoulder blades back, and then gently press the entire body down and forward. Watch the knee, doesn't go beyond the ankle. And then take the arms, interlace them, and press the knuckles down the back leg as you keep pressing the hips down and forward. Press into the shin a lot. Press into the right heel, front heel a lot. Deep breath, inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to release the right shoulder to the right knee. Walk the right foot slightly out. Take both hands to the inside of the foot and then open up this right foot. The left knee is going to press as far back as you can going into lizard pose. Great stretch for the inner thighs and your hips. So you can stay like that. You can also come forward, stretch it from here, or come onto your forearms. Trying to stay with a flat spine. Breathing in the nose and slowly out of the nose. And maybe you would even lift the left knee. You kind of play around with what feels good and what your body needs at this moment. And then going into a deep quad stretch by bringing the palms back in, you're going to lift the left foot off the mat. Take the right hand thumb down and reach the hand over. Maybe just bend the elbow and press the elbow up to a twist, or take a hold of the back of the foot. Bend the elbow and squeeze the heel in. Deep breath, getting a deep stretch in your quads. As you release that left foot, you can keep the left hand here and maybe go right back into a side plank. Or you might lift the left knee and then go to side plank from there. Deep breath. If you want more, lift the leg and bring it back behind you for Wild Thing. Press the right toe down, lift the hips and reach your arm up and above. Inhale, a little back bend. And exhale, hand comes back. Foot comes back and go back to downward dog. Hold it here for a breath. And then the left leg lifts. Left leg comes all the way forward. Left foot lands next to left thumb. And right knee comes down. Back to your low lunge. Noticing here, the knee is right aligned with the middle toe. Pressing the hips downwards, keeping the ribs in. Maybe interlace the fingers back behind you, and then draw the knuckles down the back leg. Keep bringing the hips forward, press the heel down. And as you exhale, you're going to come all the way forward, bringing that left shoulder next to that left knee, and open that left inner thigh up. So from here again, you can drop and press the right knee far back, and then lengthen the arms, stretching here, or maybe coming onto your forearms. Keep that spine long, move around a bit if it feels good. You can lift the knee a bit if it feels good. Deep, long breaths in the nose and out of the nose. As you come back, you're going to bring the palms back in. Lift the right foot, left thumb down as to reach back, either on the low back for a twist or onto that back foot, gently pressing the foot and heel into the glutes, and then twisting the body. Notice the shoulders, you're going to unshrug them, press the chest up and stretch the spine at the same time. And release the foot. And then going into your side plank, or your full plank, or into Wild Thing, lifting the leg, bring it back behind you, press the hips up to the sky, press the arm back behind you, deep breath, and exhale, bring it back down. Finish your flow. Maybe you're going to skip it and meet me in downward dog. Otherwise, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, up and back. Downward dog. Hold it there for a breath. Gaze forward to bend the knees and bring your feet in. Inhale, lengthen halfway, press the palms, lengthen the spine. Exhale, sit the hips towards the heels, Utkatasana chair. Sit low to come back, inhale. And exhale, bring your hands back to center. Beautiful. Let's do a little stretch for the wrists. Bring the elbows together and hands together and rotate those palms. Trying to keep the forearms together. You get a little stretch in the wrist and release. Beautiful. We're going to go into our next flow. So this one, we're going to go into a high lunge. I'll give you options, of course. Starting here, Tadasana feet, and then Utkatasana chair. Here we go. We're going to keep our arms forward. Deep breath. And then we're just going to release this left leg and release it back behind you. Sit low and then twist the arms to the right. Notice if you're leaning forward, you're going to straighten out the spine, tuck the tailbone under, and really stretch and reach. Deep breath, keeping it low. Squeeze into that right heel. Beautiful. Come back to center. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bring it back. Inhale, reach it up like a rocket in your arms up. And exhale, press it back. From there, you're going to take your right hand to the right hip. Press this hip in and back so it stays square to the front. Left arm will reach, bring the left elbow to the outside of the right leg. Palms come together. Now squeeze the palms a lot. Twist the body and lengthen the spine. And maybe bring the thumbs to the heart. Keep that left heel high. Right heel pressing down. Right hip pressing back, deep breath. One more deep breath. Inhale to exhale. Good. And then we're gonna come all the way around into a star pose. Sorry, my back is to you. So I'm gonna turn around for you guys. And exhale, horse. Good. Inhale, star. And then bring your hands to the side, going right to warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Bend this right knee, and then turn the toe so it faces the front of your mat. And the back leg is gonna go 45 degrees in. The right knee is gonna go towards the pinky toe, press into the heel a lot, press the edge of the back foot into the ground, and then notice the hips maybe slightly slanted or off. You're gonna take your hands to the hip bones and straighten them out. Notice my shoulders and my hips are lined up here. And then sit as low as you possibly can and reach the arms out, drop the shoulders, and gaze over the right fingertips. Deep breath. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. To reverse the warrior, release the left hand, slide it down. Right hand comes up and high five that back wall. Keep reaching to the sky as you keep the right knee bent. And then come back with a straight leg. Awesome. We're going to go into a triangle or trikonasana. You're going to be bending in this hip joint. And take the pelvis first, slightly twist it to the right. Press into this joint. And then make your arms parallel to the ground. You're going to keep reaching as if someone's pulling this arm. And keep reaching and keep pulling. And then press and release the right arm down and the left arm up. So you notice that I have my fingers, shoulders, wrist are all stacked up. I have straight lines on my body. My glutes are tucked inwards and I'm lengthening my spine. Leaning slightly back instead of forward. Trikonasana, triangle, deep breath. And as you release, you're gonna come all the way back up. Switch the hips to the front to release the low spine. Inhale. And exhale all the way back down. You're going to cartwheel your hands back down and bring that left leg in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward bend. And then press into the feet to come all the way back up. Inhale. And exhale, hands back to heart. We're going to go right to the other side. So here we are. Utkatasana or chair. And then this time, the right leg will bend and step back. And you're going to twist to the left. So again, you're going to make sure that the spine is straight, tuck the tailbone under, and twist. Hips are staying stable and just twisting the upper back. Hold it there. Good. Then back to center. And inhale, Anjaneyasana, high lunge. Exhale, shoot it back. Airplane arms. Inhale, lengthen, rocket the arms up. Exhale, press it back. Good. This time you're going to take the left hand to the left, press the left hip in. Right arm forward, right elbow to the outside. Press the leg into that elbow, press the palms together, and then press the chest forward before you twist to the other side. Notice the spine is long, the legs are strong. Left inner thigh facing upwards, left hip pressing back. One more deep breath, and then shoot your body up into star, inhale, and exhale, hands to hips. We're going to go into Prasarita Padottanasana, which is a forward bend. So you're going to turn your toes inwards for this one. Have your legs be as wide as you're comfortable and hands to hip joints. Not your waist, but your hip joints. Lengthen the spine, inhale. And then exhale, you're going to forward bend. Without pressing your hips backwards, you're going to lean forward. Press into the heels, keep leaning forward. Exhale, bring your hands between your feet. Inhale, lengthen one more time just to straighten out the spine. Exhale, forward bend, and maybe bring the hands back behind you. Keep reaching back behind you. Bring the forehead as low as you can bring it. And then lean slightly forward towards the toes. And then press the heels down again as if you're trying to tear them apart from each other. Deep breath, feeling a lot of stretching in your glutes and your groins. One more. Bring your hands back to center. Inhale, lengthen one more time before you come all the way up. Hands to hips. Press down to come all the way back up. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Going into your warrior two on the other side. So you're going to bend the left knee and learn to move the leg within a ball and socket versus just moving the whole body around. So turn the toe, The back toe is 45 degrees in. You're gonna realign the body, and then come as low as you feel comfortable. Knee goes towards the pinky edge, hands to heart first, and then lengthen the arms, drop the shoulders, relax. And then reach both arms and energize them equally. Press into both feet equally and gaze over the left. Deeply. To reverse, lengthen the left hand straight to the sky, high five that back wall, and relax the right arm. As you come back to center, release and lengthen both knees. You can always make this stance a little shorter, going into triangle or trikonasana. So again, we're going to hinge at this hip joint. So the side body should be straight. Pelvis slightly turned, and open the arms. And let's go. Reach, reach, reach. Now if we stay here, this is a perfect triangle. We have straight lines. Don't have to come any lower. If you're continuing to go, you continue to go all the way down as far as you're comfortable. Drop the shoulder blades down the back. You can gaze down or gaze up, whatever feels better. Press into both feet evenly. Straighten out the spine. Lean back. And then to come up, inhale, press it all the way up. Switch the hips to the front, reverse your triangle. And exhale all the way back down to finish your flow. Left leg comes back. Skip this flow or do it. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, up and back to downward dog. Take a breath. Lengthen the neck. Gaze forward to bend the knees. And then come all the way back down to seated. Beautiful. We're going to come into a little ball. Actually, just stay here seated, right? And we're going to lengthen all the way down to our bellies. So if you want to play with this a little bit, you can actually slow it down. Use those triceps and see if you can float down for a count of 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and let it go. Take your hands underneath your forehead. And just relax the forehead down. You can shake it out a bit. And then just again notice what the rhythm of your breath is like. If there's any sensations or stories going on in our minds, see if you can acknowledge but let them go. And just come back to the present. I'm going to go into a locust pose or Savasana. So your forehead will come down, your arms will come back behind you. You're going to reach the fingertips towards the feet. Squeeze the belly in, lift the head and chest and shoulders off the mat. If you're okay with this, you're going to continue to lift the legs off the mat. And you're lengthening as much as you can from the crown of your head to the toes. Squeezing the belly in. Inner thighs are coming upwards. Deep breath. You should feel a strengthening in the arms, the legs, the chest, the back, the glutes. Deep breath, one more. And release, take a breath. Good. Bring your hands next to your armpits and come back onto all fours. Going into Mandukasana or frog pose. I'm going to start here first. So we're going to widen the legs out as much as you can. And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn your body and face the legs and lift the feet off the ground, flex the feet, and release the ankles back down. That's where we are. And then you're going to start to press your hips back towards the space. And then maybe come onto your forearms. Right? So take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, maybe gently start to continue to press the hips up and down. You might come to a point where you say, oh, this is good enough, I'm just going to stay here. As you take a deep inhale, feel the belly. As you slowly exhale, see if you can release the tension you're feeling in the inner thighs. Continue with more and more in front. And then to come out, we're going to take our time because it's a deep stretch. So you'll come back to palms. Gently bring your knees in, taking your time. And then rolling over. And maybe a small, gentle windshield wiping of the legs back and forth. And from here, we're going to go ahead and do a little out work. So we're going to roll on down. We're going to tuck the belly in and then lean slightly back. Maybe about the length of your arms. Squeeze the belly tight. Lift the toes. Hold it here. Press the chest up. And then lift that right leg up. Hold it there. And then the other leg. See if you can hold it for 5 and 4. Squeeze it tighter in. 3 and 2 and 1. Release the heels and slowly roll all the way down to your back. You're going to let the low back touch the mat and hold it there. One more time, maybe lift the left leg. And maybe the right, hold and breathe. Squeeze the belly down towards the spine. And then lift the legs all the way up to the sky. One more time, you're going to reach for the toes. Press the belly and low back down and lift. For 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Awesome. Bring it all the way back down. Give yourself a big hug. Squeeze the thighs into the chest. Keep the back flat on the ground. Inhale first to exhale, forehead to the knees into Apanasana. And release. Do that a couple more times. This is great for digestion. This is great for the inner organs. Deep breath in the nose and out of the nose. And one more time, squeezing it in. And release. Release the feet to the ground, and we're going to go into bridge pose. A nice way to strengthen and end the class. Take your hands and see if you can touch the heels first. Your legs are hip width apart, and as you press into the feet, you're going to lift the hips up. Bring the arms underneath you, and then interlace the fingers, and then kind of shimmy the shoulder blades together. Press the pinkies down, press your triceps down, press your shoulders down, and lift the chest as high as you can. Deep breath. Now press the heels down and press your knees forward to actually lengthen the quad muscles and strengthen them. And if you want a little extra, maybe lift that left leg straight forward and then all the way to the sky. Breathe it here. And all the way back down to bend. Beautiful. I will do it one more time on the other side. Right leg can lengthen. Press this left heel down as you press the right heel up. Breathe. Soften the neck. And then gently come on down and release. And then last one, just press. Chest up. Shoulders down. Heels pressing. Deep breath. Release the arms and then shimmy and roll the upper back down, the middle, and the lower back all the way down. And then take the legs all the way into the chest one more time and reach them up. But just stay here for a moment with your back flat, heels flexed, just getting some benefits to the circulatory and nervous system, digestive system. Deep breath. And then going into a sleeping pigeon. Right ankle to left thigh. Lift the left foot. Weave the hands underneath the thigh. And then gently start to press the thigh towards the chest, but drop your shoulders. Keep the low back flat on the ground. And maybe bend the elbows to pull yourself in. Deep breath. Through the nose, out of the nose. Cross the right thigh over the left. Squeeze the thighs together. Open up the arms in a T. And then let your legs roll over to the left side. And you're going to gaze to the right. Take a moment here and just let your body completely let go. Take a deep breath. Relax the belly. Relax the low back. Relax the hips and thighs. Relax the neck and shoulders. And gently, as you exhale, squeeze the belly in to come back up and lengthen the legs straight up again. Going right to the other side, bend the right knee. Left ankle onto right thigh, toes towards the shins, lift the leg, and hands underneath. And again, gently press the thighs towards your chest, drop the shoulders down, and you can use the other elbow to open up this left leg if you need. Remember to relax the entire body, let yourself go. And make a great stretch into the glutes and hips, and then cross the left thighs. Squeeze the thighs together. Open up arms in a T and let your legs roll to the left or to the right. As you turn your gaze to the left, breathe in the nose, fill the belly, and as you exhale, let the body completely let go. One more deep breath. And then on your exhalation, squeeze the belly in to come back to center. Release the legs and just winch away the legs a little bit. And then going into our final resting pose, Savasana. You might just go into Shavasana with the legs wide and knees together if your low back sometimes bothers you, and palms facing up. Or you can lengthen the legs out to the edges of your mat. Let the toes roll open. Fingertips are reaching for the feet, and then drop the shoulders. Close your eyes. And then just fill the belly as you inhale. And the first, let it go. Feel your body melting into the earth like ice would melt in warm water. And using this last few moments as a meditation, see if you can just become aware, moment by moment, of any sensations or thoughts going on. And then, as if it's a cloud, looking out the window of an airplane, let them roll by without any judgment, just being kind to yourself. And then starting with that breath, you're going to feel the cool air as it comes into the nostrils, fills up into the belly, and reaches all the way to the soles of the feet and the toes and the ankles. And as you exhale slowly out of the nose, let the entire feet, both feet, just relax. Become aware of your legs, the calves and knees and thighs, and breathe into that space. And as you slowly exhale, relax them, release them, loosen them. With this next inhale, breathe into the belly, the low back, the chest and upper back. Fill it up all the way. And as you exhale, soften the belly, soften the heart. Bring your awareness to your neck and shoulders, down to your fingertips. And as you exhale, let it go. And then bring your awareness to your face. Unclench the jaws, soften the cheeks, soften the space between the eyebrows. Let the eyes be heavy. Bring your awareness to your heart. Just listen to your heartbeat. And try and feel your heartbeat. And then take in love, compassion, slowly start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Maybe move the head side to side, getting some movement in the head. And then bend your knees, bring your feet flat on the mat, and bring your legs all the way into the chest. Give yourself a hug. And then roll over to the right side to lift the heart before you come back this evening. As you press the left palm into the earth, come back to seated. Either bringing a pillow or a block underneath the sit bones to sit straight. Tilting the pelvis, lengthening the spine. Bring your hands back to heart. And just connecting the hands to heart, the mind to heart. Remind ourselves that what we practice grows stronger. So let's practice love and compassion and positivity with our thoughts, with our words, and with our intentions. The light in my heart bows down to each and every